Hope your week so far has been tolerable, at least. Here we are, streaming on the hottest day of the week for 4 hours. I had an okay lunch, but I'm already starting to feel hungry, so we'll see how my mental game is today. Fortunately, we're not doing anything terribly difficult today. It'll be a lot of, as I call it, makeup work. There are a couple of things to take care of. As just, just making sure that we do that before we move on, kind of things. And first and foremost is the Reichard's Divide Tower. Not terribly difficult to do. Actually, let's lightning spear that. Am I not locked onto the scarab? Okay, I was locked onto the actual scarab, not the ball, where you would usually hit the ball, too. Yeah, see, a smithing stone 8, that is a good enough reason to have been here already. Okay, so there are a couple of things you get by platforming around. There's that item over there. There are a couple of runes that are worth picking up. Let's get off the horse. Hard time either remembering or caring about what direction all the different loot is in. There's some down as well, and you go. Hey, you prick. Note how much damage this guy and frickin' Caleb is doing. Yeah, it's more than some of the Leyndell folks were hitting us for. That's the awkward difficulty jump of Northern Caled compared to the rest of it. Because we were pretty comfortable. Rykard does hit hard. Or, sorry, I keep saying Rykard. Radahn. Star Scourge Radahn. Radahn hits hard, but you also just avoid him and let all the NPCs wreck him. Excuse me. But many of the enemies in this area hit real hard. And yes, you do want to be on your horse for much of this. Maybe not for the fights, but the double jump is indispensable. Okay, so ladder down back there. And there's a ladder up there. Weird. And this is the... I think this is the ladder that takes us up to the end, quote-unquote. Honestly, I don't remember. Yeah. Because now that we've activated this, we can go explore the rest and just teleport back when we're ready. I have to imagine that would really hurt. Yeah, Newman's Dragon's Rune is pretty good. There's, you know, lore. You can watch videos to get more details. Vati had a number of videos about the origins of Empyreans and their identities. I think America is part of the Newman race, but I don't remember because it's been a while. And I forgot just how annoying Vati can be sometimes, because he released a video today about the Duskbloods. And just anyway. No shade to him as an individual, as a human being. I just found the tone and the structure of his video to be extremely annoying. It looks cool though. Duskbloods looks cool. Oh, yep. It looks cool. I don't know if I'm actually going to buy it when it comes out, because I just can't stand PvP games. But I'm excited for the network test still. That starts tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not allowed to record footage. Apparently they were playing a specific demo version of the game in the footage Vati had. And I haven't checked specifically. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to talk about it at the very least, so look forward to that on Friday. Just, you know, risky jumping. I think I'm good from this height. I think I won't die from this fall. Yeah. And then there are a bunch of runes here and other items. I don't think there's anything else down here. Cool. Before the dragons get us, let's teleport back. Okay, there are two directions to go here. It's a bit of a platforming nightmare. This looks like it does just take us up, which is good. Radon. still haven't used a single rune arc. Okay, and then we go down, which is the underlying platforming bit. Or like your fit lady. Looked like she was wearing the dancer dress from the DLC. Yeah, I see you, bud. I see you. And you see how much damage that dealt? Jeez. Rip. All the way to the bottom, you say? This is why we put this off. How much damage these guys deal. This is definitely later game stuff rather than right after you beat Radon. How do you like taste your own medicine, nerd? Okay. So this part sucks because you need to jump down and then jump around on some of these. And if you jump on the right ones, it'll negate your fall damage and you'll fall safely. And if you jump on the wrong ones, you just freaking die. So, yeah, not a fan. Not a big fan. It's like that one cellar in Bloodborne. I think that cellar is a little less predictable than this, but like you have to jump on these little braziers to get down. It's like how are you supposed to predict how far you're supposed to jump? How are you like do you anyway? Left No Crumbs, hello again. This is the Caelid Divine Tower, where you, if you go up the stairs in the Divine Tower of Caelid, you activate Radon's Great Rune. But if you go down the stairs, then you go to this platforming hell and suffer and lose thousands of runes. That last part's optional, but pretty easy to do. And there you go. There's 33,000 runes done. Ugh. It's fine. Honestly, the load off my back to not need to worry. There is a Godskin Apostle, as well as some item. I don't remember what the item is. I'm getting it because I'm compulsive about it. There's a Site of Grace, a Godskin Apostle boss fight. I feel like it might be some Black Flame thing that you get down here, but I mean, I hope it's Black Flame Orb. We're just going to try walking off this time. Looks like that's what you're supposed to do. And you can jump to the bigger platform. I'd be shocked if the Godslayer Greatsword was down here. It might be, but I don't think it is. Hey, no! Oh. You can see the staircase right there that leads down to the boss fight. We're certainly going to find out what's down there once we, make it so that we don't break all of the bones below our waist on arrival. We're getting there. We're getting there. Cool. Cool. I'm looking for walking. Try walking. But it doesn't look like... Yeah. That's fine. Walk. Hey, look. 2,000 runes. And I think this goes up. And then we can open that door as a shortcut. Nerd. Cool. Cool. Nice black and white explosions, man. Maybe we don't open the shortcut this way. Or maybe it was back the other direction. Either way. Ash War for this weapon? Yes. I can try to use it on the boss here. It's good for PvP. The effect prevents using flasks and other items. Otherwise, it's usually just a big hit. It's not bad. It's not like it's game-changing by any stretch. Awkward. But it's good. The weapon overall is just very good, and so I like the holy damage, but also bleed. Plus, the range of a scythe is pretty good. But yeah, If you're doing PvP, it will. It's a pretty good one because it's also quick. I don't have any sleep pots built, so we'll see if we can beat this guy without them. I am so big bonk pilled in From Software games that it just usually doesn't cross my mind ever. The damage that they deal is negligible with how much faith I have compared to just hitting with my upgraded weapon. So I usually use them in lieu of a bow. Like, I can. It's just, like, 449 damage is okay, but it took charging up to do that when I can just hit 4 times with this. So it's all about efficiency. It's a difficult line for From Software to walk, because if they make incantations and sorceries that much better than just melee combat, then it becomes problematic, because why would you ever use melee, right? But they can't make them... currently, most of them are very weak, to the point of not being worth using compared to just using melee combat. So this guy's going to be a little prick. I say a little prick. He just, again, deals so much damage. And yes, my weapon is upgraded to 7, I believe, and we just got a Smithing Stone 8. So I can go upgrade it again if I want. But yeah, I just... It's so much easier to just use melee attacks for 80% of the fighting in this game. So I'm going to summon Latenna. Hopefully that will help. Latenna's strongest benefit is just consistent average damage, and then sometimes taking aggro. We don't want her to take aggro when he uses... We interrupted it nice when he uses his fire, but... Yeah, I'm totally okay if she deals more damage than me, in general. Frick. Let's get away from that. Double heal. Because, again, as long as I can keep aggro, she can keep dealing the damage, which is a fine trade-off for me. And that way I still don't have to learn how these guys actually fight. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take Godslayer's Greatsword. Does take more dex than I've got, but could be good. Faith-based that deals fire rather than holy. Yeah, we only have 16 dex, so we'll have to think about that one. You find her in Liurnia. I can tell you exactly where I can show you if you want, but she's part of the quest to get to the Halig Tree, to Mikola and Millennia and whatever. She gives you... Well, okay, she doesn't give you. The guy who gives you the secret medallion tells you where to find her, or tells you to find her, as does Gideon. Anyway. So that's that. Okay, so we have 3 other objectives here. We have these 2 dungeons in the outskirts, as well as there's a couple of things in the basin here for Leyndell. Then we have the deep root depths here, the Lake of Rot, and Ranni's Plateau. Yeah, my stats, are you saying that they are horrible, awful, or are they okay? Because I've been trying to, again, the goal has been to get to 60 vigor before continuing to upgrade things. I think I'm gonna do Ranni's quest line first, because that's gonna be the weakest, lowest level for us to deal with. And let's... Do I have the Cleanse Me spell? Don't think I do. Yeah, that's fair. Playing Faith means I've had to put a number of stats into Faith for the weapons that I've been using. Coupled with a couple of points into endurance. I can tell you that the answer to 90% of the questions of why I do or don't do things is because I have never really cared to optimize my gameplay in this game in any meaningful way, shape, or form. I don't need to go here unless I've given Corin the book that has it. I guess we have to check. I embody the head empty big bonk gameplay of Elden Ring. There are all sorts of Ashes of War that are really good. There are all sorts of talisman combos and whatnot that are really good, and I'm just not interested. So I've never used Golden Vow because I just don't usually need it. Usually the difference of winning a fight or losing a fight is not whether I have buff, it's whether I am stupid and greedy. Hello, Natalie Chris. I'm okay. How are you? I can give Golden Vow a try next time I'm at a Site of Grace, but I just... I only use, of the spells I have equipped, I use Heal, Flame Sling, and Lightning Spear, and sometimes Bestial Sling. I never use anything else, because I'm just lazy.
Oh, yes, the master is still ceased, and after coming...
Okay, so you don't have Fire Cleanse Me. I don't stream every day, no. I stream on Mondays, Fridays, and Thursdays. I would say my favorite boss is probably... I really like the Dragonkin soldiers. It's a little basic, a little non-eventful, but I think they're fun to fight. I'm also a fan of... I think the Ranni Queen of the Full Moon boss fight's pretty cool. The problem is there aren't many boss fights I truly love in this game. It's mostly just ones that are less frustrating than others.
Greetings. Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn to get heresy is not native to the world. It is but a
I think it's
contrivance.
10 out of 10, as
All
much as that can
things
be
conjoined.
listened or listed for anything.
Oh, very well.
Like, I think it's
Heresy is not all things can...
one of the better games to come out. The year it came out, it definitely deserved Game of the Year. We'll buy it. We'll buy it. Okay. About a year, a little over a year at this point. My first stream was in May of 2025, I believe. I think it was 2025. It was either May or 2025 or 2024, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 because I think I started streaming the year the Switch 2 came out. Yeah, so you can't summon Torrent here, and I don't have... I can make Preserving Boluses, but I don't want to use too many of them. Thank you, Natalie Chris. I bet it would, Natalie Chris. Yep. Yep. I will never blame people for wanting to advertise themselves and for looking for opportunities for work, because the world we live in, making a buck is not easy. But at the moment, I can tell you I'm not able to do commissions for anything. I'm not interested in looking for any work done. I appreciate the offer, but I am not in a place where I can afford it. So thank you for offering, but I wish you the best of luck. Okay. So let's just get rotted and we'll run around, and we have some roots that we don't want to lose, but as long as we're on top of our health loss, it should be fine. Again, I'm not very interested, and I don't plan to actively do anything to decorate my channel at the moment. So there's, I think that's the Dragonkin Soldier. So we're gonna go activate that platform. if I did not have the benevolence of my roommates, I would not be able to afford to eat right now. So I am not able to afford any commissions. So again, I respect the effort. I respect the difficulty of being an artist as a source of income, but I am not someone who can afford to pay for such things at the moment. Unfortunately, we got aggro there, so we might die here if we can't get away enough to teleport. But I think we're good. This is the last time I'm going to say it. I can't afford anything, and I don't want to commission anything at the moment. So if that's not enough for you, I will have to block you from chatting. At some point in my life, I'm not going to say career because I don't plan on doing this as anything more than a hobby, I would not hate having custom art made, but it is not something I am thinking about right now, not something I'm interested in right now. I'm pretty sure there's a Stake of America here. Because I don't remember needing to walk all the way across. Yeah, there's a stake here. So I'm actually just gonna die here so that I can fight this Dragonkin soldier. Oh, why are you in the rot? Why are you in the lake? Okay, this fight's annoying because he's in the rot. And you can get him out a little bit, but he moves so much that he's just gonna go back in. I'm assuming Natalie Chris has left, haven't been turned down, but they said we, and what interests me the most is that this is now the fourth person, if my memory serves, fourth person who has used the exact same approach, almost the same words, word for word, for trying to solicit me to pay for art for my YouTube channel. And so I wonder if it is a team of people who have a guide that they use to try to get commissions. Which, I mean, again, being a fully, truly independent artist is not easy. And so it would make sense that there would be if nothing more than a support group, but be some kind of organization for trying to do art as a career. Anyway. Okay. There are a couple of more platforms we can raise. I believe it. Well, YouTube is small potatoes in terms of streaming compared to Twitch, so I 100% believe that. I'm gonna die up here. I don't want to fight you. You not want I'm dying. Now, is your name Jonestly or is it Jonestly? That, because I think Jonestly is funny, and Jonestly could be an interesting name, but like if it is just replacing the word honestly with a J, that's pretty fun. I think I hit that one. So I'm gonna just try to run across here. Ah. Second one, nice, nice. Well, welcome, Jonestly. I think this one raises, if I haven't already pushed it, so I already have. One of these raises a walkway underneath these pillars. It might be all the way over there. Been a hot minute. Yeah, I don't really want to wait for Scarlet Rock to go down. I guess we'll just do some more running. We can go get the Site of Grace. All of these bloodstains. The amusing thought is that they're the people who died right before getting this Site of Grace. There was a really funny video on this Elden Ring subreddit back at launch of someone watching a bloodstain get all right up to the Site of Grace and dying right before they got there. This is about my 7th playthrough, depending on if we're counting incomplete playthroughs. I did 2 full New Game Pluses, so I played New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus on PlayStation on the same character. And then I've done 1 full playthrough on PC, and I have 1 almost completed full playthrough. And then this playthrough, which is my 3rd, and then there was 1 playthrough I got about to the Mountaintops of the Giants that is incomplete, and I don't think I'm going to go back to because I don't care. Aeonian butterflies are good for Scarlet Rot arrows, so we're just going to pick those up. I've gotten the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation, and I eventually want to get all of the achievements on Steam. That's what this playthrough is for. I'm going to do Ranni's ending, because the first one I did was the Lord of Madness ending, whatever it's called. Frenzied Flame. And then whenever I finish one of those other playthroughs, can we please? Thank you. Whenever I finish one of those other playthroughs, I'll do one of the other endings to get. Yeah, this place sucks. This is one of my least favorite areas of the game. Doesn't look like there's anything in here to actually get. Don't think there's anything up top. We're almost out of flasks, so I want to teleport again. I have gotten to this one. I don't know that there's much else to find in the Rot Lake, so let's go up and fight that Onyx or Alabaster Lord, and then we'll press on. I'm pretty sure there's a way back up there, right? I don't think it's up that way. I think it's around. Excuse me. If they weren't so easily staggered, these guys would be a lot scarier. But almost any two-handing almost any weapon is enough to make them flinch. And so they're just not that scary. A 9, you say? Hype. It might finally be time to change weapons then, if we have the means to upgrade further. Because there are a couple we've been eyeing this whole time. And we finally have enough strength to use one of them, and I haven't gotten. Because the Golden Halberd is what I'd been working towards originally, but I haven't upgraded it at all, so haven't pulled it out. Obviously, it doesn't deal nearly as much unupgraded. This is +7. This is not upgraded at all, but I'm hoping it deals a lot. Downside is that it doesn't deal bleed, which is why I like the Weak Scythe. And then I'm still looking for Big Hammer. There are 2 Colossal Strike weapons that are strength-based. There's an Erdtree Branch and the Erdtree Avatar Staff, but I don't know where either of them are. And then we could, again, if we want to get the dex, we could do the Godslayer's Greatsword. I don't think I have another big faith weapon. So, yeah, we might upgrade the halberd and give it a shot. We'll see. Okay, and then one last trip, I promise. There's the archway over here on the left. And I just want to go through. I think there's a chest back there. scythes do, or the colossal strike weapons. Nice. I don't think there's anything behind this waterfall. I'm gonna check Alabaster Lord Sword. Okay, yeah. We have enough to level up. Let's do that before we go down, because this place sucks. This doesn't seem like a place where a cloister would live. Lamau. Anyway. I don't like pests, or whatever these guys are called. They have a name that isn't pests, but they shoot pest threads, which is why I call them pests. If every single thread didn't stagger, it would be a lot more convenient. It would be less frustrating to fight them. But when it's just a series, a chain of staggering, it's like, come on. I don't think that's a wise place to be trying to fight the ulcerated tree spirit, my gal. I don't want to. I'm not trying to victim blame here, but I feel like you could have chosen a better direction to hide if you were that worried about. Anyway. Pest glaive. It's always nice to pick up at least one of those. Okay. So let's... I'm just going to put them on my action bar. Yeah, your Scarlet Rot breath is disgusting. We know. So now we're cooked because we rolled in the Scarlet Rot, so we're going to keep getting it, but that's fine. Nice. Where's your head? There's your head. This is the second worst ulcerated tree spirit to fight. The worst one is the one at the Howling Tree. the arena where you help or hunt Millicent. Rip. Because the damage on that one is just insane. And also you're fighting in a pool of Scarlet Rot. Yeah, that's true. And maybe you could get an angle up above on this guy, but it'd be difficult to say the least, and I don't know if you can get back up after you fall down. Crap. No. Not after we've come so far. We're not gonna die here. We're not gonna throw it away. Oh yay, a golden seed. I definitely needed one more of those. Anyway. Okay, these guys are a pain. I think you can mostly aggro them out one at a time. Must have been the wind. This is where, if I was doing an intelligence build, I would go ham with Glintstone Arc. But I'm not. I watched Vati's video this morning, and it looks cool. It looks interesting. I really don't like PvP games. I get so stressed whenever I'm playing with or against other people in any kind of like competitive format, and so I don't know if I'm actually gonna buy the game. It'll depend on how the network test goes. I got accepted to be part of the network test, and so I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. But it does. It looks like Night Rain Deluxe. It looks like PvP VE Night Rain rather than the pure PvE of Night Rain. And like, from what Vati was saying in his video, and from the like vibes of the footage, it could be a little friendlier than, you know, something like Fortnite in terms of aggressive PvP gameplay. I'm interested. I'm not, as I mentioned to the frickin' advertiser, I'm poor right now, and the games that I want to buy are expensive enough. I got a rain check from my parents for Fire Emblem Fortune's Wii coming out next month, as they didn't have anything that they knew I wanted and needed from my birthday, which happened earlier this year. And so that's how I'm going to be able to afford that, is they'll buy it for me for a birthday gift. And then I have a lead on a job. One of my mom's friends runs a place that needs more front desk receptionist people. And so I'm hoping to be able to get a job there. And if I get a job, then that changes things drastically. So we'll see. We'll see how that shakes things up. But yeah, long story short, I think Dusk Bloods looks really cool too. I don't know if I'll be able to afford buying a game that I'm not necessarily going to like, because PvP stresses me out. I used to play League of Legends. I used to play exclusively Aram in League of Legends because it didn't matter. But like competitive, who plays Aram competitively? You play Aram to mess around and build warmogs on everyone. But I stopped doing that because even that was stressing me out too much. So maybe one day I will be more of a PvP gamer, but generally speaking, no. And thank you for the well wishing. It could be as soon as next week, could be a month or so from now, and so I'm still looking for other work, but it's just difficult to find, and especially difficult to find a job that doesn't require 30 plus minutes of commute every day, or there and back. When gas prices are what they are. So this job would be like 15 minutes away from home, which is not bad. Okay, this sucks. This sucks to have only 4 flasks and half dead, but yeah, if I get too invested, I do get what's the word? Angry at things. And like when I'm playing games by myself, I tilt far more than I tilt on stream. I try to actively cultivate an atmosphere of not tilting while playing stream games, because you know there's some people like the angry, some people could come for the rage bait, but I don't like it. And so yeah, anyway, and I played all of these games enough that the mistakes and the deaths that I have are generally speaking just my own fault, so there's no point getting angry at it. Anyway. Rip. But yeah, I like the feeling of being good at games, and the problem with PvP is that other people are better than me at games. And so I don't deal well with the, I don't know, insecurity, inferiority complex of getting stomped by people who actually understand how these games work. My older brother has perfected disdain for every other person on the planet in an anonymous setting. He's genuinely very kind to service workers and cashiers and whatever, but he's an absolute a-hole to anyone online who dares to be worse than him at a game. So I find that very funny as well. Agreed. I think there's a high chance of the game being really cool. Like, I think, and the feature of being able to request alliances and do elements that are cooperative, I think that's cool. I thought he would have staggered at least once by now. But yeah, it's fine. We went into this not expecting to win because we were low on flasks, but I don't also get fairly distracted when yapping. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I was also in the Night Rain network test, and I had a really fun time with that. Uh, but then when I actually played Night Rain, I did not have a good time. My friend 100%ed it, got all the achievements and whatever, and I just... Every time that he and I tried to do duos, before they added formal duo queues, the third person we had would always be awful. And then my other sibling was inconsistent in their availability. And so we couldn't do 3 people very frequently. And then my biggest gripe with Night Rain was I would have loved the chance to just practice against bosses, because spending 30 minutes just to get absolutely stomped with no success on a fight, it just felt bad, and I wasn't psychically ready to handle that. So the length of a run of Duskbloods is going to change a lot about how interested I am. If it's 15 minutes in and out, that's good, that's fine. But if it's going to be another like 30 minutes just to get stomped by someone who found an OP ally, or kudos, like, no shade if that's what you enjoyed. I just like I don't mind boss run backs. I don't like 30 minutes where I'm not even certain I'm gonna have a fair shot, much less win. And even when, like, even on the runs where I reach max level and have a legendary tier weapon and have good synergies, it's like sometimes it just doesn't even matter if the boss just kills me. So it was just kind of feels bad in ways that I didn't like. But I think the game was good. I think it was still a good like spin-off, like ideal, perfect kind of spin-off game. I don't like his head. I don't like his skull. It's just the way the mandibles come out of his skull is just uncomfortable to me. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Not clean, but, you know, we got there. I think the idea of classes is huge for Souls-like games. Mortal Shell kind of does stuff like that, if I remember correctly from the like 30 minutes I played of the first game, where the different shells that you take on are kind of like your different weapon styles and fighting styles. But having specific abilities in Night Rain was really cool, and they've done that again in Duskbloods, it seems. I think that's a really good concept. I don't know if I would want to play a full-length Souls-like game that's class-based, but I think I like if they did Chalice dungeons again with a class system, I think that could be really interesting. And like roguelike Elden Ring and From Software games, you're good, honestly. Like, it's, I always happy to see people chat, but no pressure. Roguelike Elden Ring would be a heck of a drug. Like, if they actually pulled off, because like Night Rain's kind of roguelike, I guess, because you do well, roguelite, you do get some upgrades outside of runs, but it's not quite the same. But like having meaningful upgrades and meaningful variety. Words are hard. If you nail getting good upgrades as a roguelike system in an Elden Ring game, then having just the different weapon variety would carry a lot of a good short form kind of game. Words are so hard, man. I don't know if I'm saying anything that makes sense. Okay, so my biggest gripe about most roguelike games is that they're long. There are a lot of very long roguelikes. Each run takes an hour or change. Hades and Hades 2 take a while when you're starting out, when you're first getting used to the game, but by the time you're familiar with the game, a run can take less than half an hour. Dead Cells, if you're fast, I'm not good at Dead Cells, but if you're good at Dead Cells, you can be done in 45 minutes or so. Slay the Spire, I'm not good at base game Slay the Spire, but for Slay the Spire 2, I can consistently do a run in 30 minutes or so. So Night Rain is 30 minutes on the dot, depending on how long certain interactions take. But it just felt kind of slow at times. Slow, but also stressful. There's another dragon here. Ow. So if there were like, in like Chalice Dungeons and Bloodborne, going through one was like a 30 to 45 minute ordeal because they had bosses and they wanted to be like dungeons, like overworld biomes. Bye. So if there was Elden Ring or some other Soulsborne game that had just like, I don't know, a 20 to 35 minute run structure where you start out as a class, but then also have a set number of healing items, have rooms you need to get through, and then a boss at the end, and then gives you some kind of reward. It'd be cool if this was like adjunct to another game, and then it would give you some benefit in the main game if you did it enough. That'd be pretty neat, personally. Alabaster Dawn, which we played a little bit on stream, has a roguelike mode meant to supplement until more early access content is added. And jeez. It looked like you could unlock equipment that you could use in the main game by playing it, which, again, I think that's a heckin' good idea. So anyway. Good. Because Souls-like combat is very good. It's very fun and very satisfying. And people do randomizers because they want to experience different challenges at different times. They want to, have those reaction content moments of why are Ornstein and Smaug here in instead of the gargoyles or whatever. But it's so yeah. The variety is nice for a randomizer. And I think channeling that energy, if not that exact format, with a well-structured roguelike mode would be kind of cool. And again, I'm very interested in seeing whatever their next project is. Apparently, an interview with Nintendo Life magazine that Miyazaki did about Duskbloods, he said, "Yeah, it's cool to have an outlet for these multiplayer ideas that don't necessarily fit in one of our mainline games, but it also gives us, when we get these ideas out, it gives us a kind of desire to work on the next big project." So we're hoping that they have something in the works for their next solo game. No actual news on that to my knowledge, but yeah, anyway, words are hard. I would be very interested in Dark Souls 4 personally, because I think Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring's probably my favorite, and then Dark Souls 3 is my second favorite. Because I unfortunately don't like Bloodborne all that much. I plan to play Bloodborne next for stream when I'm finished with Elden Ring, but I don't love it. Trick weapons are cool, parrying is cool, and like the quick combat is satisfying, but there's not a single area past Central Yharnam that I don't viscerally hate. So I don't like Bloodborne, and it'll be a bit of a trial to play through it on stream, but you know, there will be enough Bloodborne simps that I can banter with that it should be at least a little fun. Rip. One of the many things that I would like to buy when I have gainful employment and money to waste is buying Sekiro on PC. I platinumed it on PlayStation, but don't have a good enough excuse to play the game again when I did everything already. But see, I'm a very achievement-driven gamer. I love getting meaningless, empty praise for doing things in video games. That's part of why I'm happy to play Elden Ring on PC again, is because I don't have all the achievements. I still occasionally pick up both Elden Ring and Dark Souls 1, and not as much Dark Souls 3, just for fun, regardless of achievements. But it's just, I like the noise of achievements popping. I like getting a little notification. It's just the satisfaction of, hey, I did something today, which sounds so pathetic, but so I would like to play Sekiro again on PC. I got footage of Sekiro for a video I wanted to make about 9 Souls. Fudge. And you know, I was able to beat, I think, Lady Butterfly and Owl Father in like 3 tries each, having not played in years, because you know, it's like riding a bike. When it finally clicks, it clicks. And don't let those haters on the shitty Dark Souls subreddit tell you otherwise. But yeah, Sekiro is a game I would love to play again, but it never goes on sale for better than half off, and $30 is more than I'm ever gonna pay for a game I've already beaten 100% without a good reason to buy it again. I keep hoping that one of my Steam family members will be interested enough in Sekiro to buy it, and I can just capitalize on that, but it's such a strong hit. It might be worth it to go upgrade our weapon before trying to fight a Leyndell more. Because I can't summon here. And I'm familiar with Black Knight attack patterns. But this attack is just... that one hit is quite lethal. Nothing says I have to do this now. I think she drops the Black Knight Tisha ashes. And those are some of the... like, Latenna, Tisha, and the Mimic tier are my 3 go-tos. So let's take these 47,000 runes. And we'll go upgrade stuff.
Well, I took you for no matter. Lay out your arms then.
Okay, so we got 2 smithing stone 8s, so we will put 1 here. And we have 2 9s too? Deal. Okay. And let's upgrade the health then. And we'll give it a shot. Okay. I'm gonna upgrade this a little bit more if we want. I'm still looking for a different incantation or a seal. Let's upgrade our bow. Should be enough.
Greetings, are you here for spirit?
I am here for spirit tuning. Ooh, I need more, you say? Honestly, we can get her all the way up. So I think we are going to use some runes here. Well, okay, maybe not. I'm a miser when it comes to these runes. So I'd rather just go kill things. Sounds about it, man. Too good for this world. Okay. Okay. So we can just go propose right away if we want, but I want to go get the memory stone here. Nerds. I want a bludgeoning weapon, strike weapon, whatever, so I can more easily deal with these pricks, among other stony / crystallian All the words I want to say are swear words. Yeah, maybe this place is stronger than I expected it to be. Everything hits so hard here. Ugh. And that's torrent down. Oh, I didn't expect an attack that quick. Okay, we can go down the right, come back there. We don't have that many runes on the line, so we'll just go this way. There are a couple more dragons that we can fight. These ruins to explore a little bit. Just demonstrating that these guys are weak to healing magic. This prick. You can zap him again with healing magic, and that might be the right choice, given that we can mount Torrent here. Glove Ward 2? Wow, we're really skimping here, are we? Hope that wasn't too loud for you guys. That particular sound bite sometimes plays very, very loudly. Nice. Has he just not seen me? That's really convenient. Another smithing stone. 3 smithing stone 8s, you say? That's cool. And yet those guys dropped Glove Ward 2. What a joke. I believe there is no something ahead, so, but we're gonna check anyway. Always gotta check. Fun fact, if you summon Latenna in a place that has wolves, she will appropriate one and ride on it and become much more mobile as a summon. Does not come up often, believe it or not. There are very few places that it actually works out that way, but the Consecrated Snowfield is one of them because there are a bunch of Albinaric Wolf Rider archers. I think you can summon her at the Karian Estate. That might be it. But it's just kind of cool. Okay. So there's one jumping in the sky up on the left. There's one down on the right. And I don't remember where the third one is. Let's not die. The joke lives on. Definitely gonna need Golden Roa raisins soon. Hey now. I don't know why the red wolves are so hard for me to fight, but I struggle. Okay. So let's get the flying one. Let's try to go get the flying one. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna be able to get up there. We'll need to go fight Glintstone Dragon Adula. Treasure trove of smithing stone upgrades. 10 out of 10. Ow. We'll wager there isn't anything else here. So let's just ignore these pricks. Oh, that's... Oh. Sorry, Torin. This is a very stray, idle thought that probably doesn't hold much to it. But I feel like if Capcom and From Software teamed up to make a game that had like Souls-like combat, but Monster Hunter level ecology and world building. I say world building, let's say like world design. Thinking like, what if this dragon actually ate all of those deer that it killed, just barely? Maybe Monster Hunter style gear. You have Souls-like level bosses and an enemy design, but Monster Hunter gear and rewards, because the biggest weakness of From Software games is that there is no boss rush mode for most of them. There is no no convenient way except by playing the game again that you fight enemies again. And so part of the joy of Monster Hunter is grinding monsters, defeating them over and over again, and being able to do that with From Software bosses would be pretty neat. Yes, as was mentioned, that's kind of what Night Rain is to some degree. You get materials for kind of materials. You get the gems for beating Night Rain bosses, and you can fight them over and over again. But I mean, the smoothness of Monster Hunter Wilds, you know, just running around and finding bosses and killing them through loot to upgrade your gear and get better stuff, that would be really sick in a FromSoft style Souls-like shell combat structure, whatever words you want to use. Obviously, it wouldn't be nearly as easy as just snapping your fingers and saying, hey, Capcom, hey, From Software, work together on this. It would take a lot of hashing out. Because, I mean, there are bosses in Monster Hunter that are kind of Souls-like, that you are dodging and you're always trying to memorize attack patterns for everything. It's just not as, I'm going to use the word stringent as From Software is. There's a lot more flexibility, and especially like ranged combat in Monster Hunter is significantly improved on ranged combat in From Software games. Now I thought one of the turtles was hanging off the edge of the cliff. I don't see messages. Usually there are messages saying, look here for turtle or whatever. Behold dog. I knew this guy. So it was here and here. Reason would dictate somewhere up here. I really haven't rested. Wild. Please don't fall off and die. Lona. There you are. Did I not dismount here? Sorry, bud. I'm glad I didn't go with my reason and instead chose to follow my gut. I've been more tranquil places. Oh. Oh, this is the... Yeah. That's cool. I don't want to walk all the way back, so we'll deal with the respawns we don't even care about. Ugh. We might as well spend our souls, runes. We're almost to 60 vigor, then we can actually upgrade fun things again. I don't know for sure what Celes means, or would mean in Latin. It could be a root of, or a word derived from celere, meaning fast, C-E-L-E-R, or it could mean the root for celestial. So, you know, the whatever celestial hands phrase you want to derive from that. Generally, like Celes, like celestial, refers to the sky more than space or stars. But it can stretch if you want, because we see the stars in the sky at night. Cool. Time to check in on our queen, girlfriend, what do you want to call her? Consort. Just the tableau of her sitting on the corpse of the fingers. It's pretty good, pretty poignant.
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Hooray! An int weapon I'm never going to use. Again, my first playthrough, I did primarily int mixed with dex. But I did respec to use the greatsword when I got it, because it was cool. Okay, that's the Lake of Rot and Ranni done. Still got a good 2 hours, so let's go. I think we can check in on Kenneth Height now that we've given Nefeli Lu the ashes. So let's go do that. And then we can get a somber smithing stone. Not somber, right? An ancient dragon smithing stone. Man, remember when 61 roads might have been okay. Might have been helpful.
I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave. I must begin for a true...
Okay, maybe not.
I must for a true...
Let's go see if we can talk to Nefeli Lu at all. I'm pretty sure she's still just gonna be sniffing the ash.
In this ash, I can smell the ancient storm. It reminds me of my first hawk.
Okay, that triggers some time then. I'm pretty sure it'll just happen, but we'll see. Maybe once the Erd Tree burns down, maybe once we go to the Mountaintops of the Giants, I don't know. I don't really care about most of these. That's probably fine. Ash of War. And we're never going to use this for sure. So I guess we'll take that. We will take the Blasphemous Blade because we could use it. And we'll take the Star Scourge Greatsword because it's good. We'll take Morgoth's Curved Sword. We don't have the runes to buy most of this, but...
Now go.
Okay. So, that leaves us with Darkroot Depths. Darkroot Depths and the around here part. I think I would rather go through these catacombs first. Because I feel like we're gonna get stomped. Good. I feel like I'm just gonna get stomped in here. But let's try the halberd. This has got the Golden Order Ash of War, which Left No Crumbs was telling us about. I don't hate that down slice. I do hate these freaking jumpy ones. Is that actually gonna trap me? Oh yeah, because this is... Oh man, all the teleports in this freaking dungeon. I hate this place. I think this is just where you would jump down, though. It's definitely slower than the site. We'll see if that's damning or not. The heavy attack is about the same speed, though. So maybe we just default to heavies rather than... Yeah, running is a thrust, that makes sense. Oh, you're up there, aren't you? I hate these guys so much. Rip. Okay, but that gets us up here. That's fine. So we saw that guy with the animation of pulling the lever, so why isn't there a lever here? Did it bring us to a parallel dimension? This is just gonna be another teleport trap. Let's go use this one again and see if it does anything. This is the side tomb, Riza side tomb. To be fair, all the catacombs look fundamentally the same. At least on the inside. Design-wise, I mean, design-wise. When I'm out of combat, I can... So yeah, it is different. It is different. That's aggravating. When I'm not in combat, I can show you on the map where this one is. It's right here. Is this just back at the beginning? Oh boy. I'm gonna go back through this one, and then I'm gonna go through that one at the altar. Oh, you prick. I wanted to try it. I just wanted to see if this one was going to be... This was one of the weapons I had in mind when I started this playthrough. I just wanted to see how it would do, and it has the Golden Vow Ash of War, so I can use it without equipping a spell slot. Not that I am hurting for spell slots, given how infrequently I use the majority of my spells. Dude, this pot is cracked. Anyway, sorry. I love how slang evolves with the prevalence of the internet and people who want to resist being told what is proper about language. And I love when those slang definitions affect other things completely independent of the slang that is being used. There was a good example semi-recently, but I can't for the life of me think what it was. But like when a Google search trend spikes because old people are trying to understand what is meant when young people are saying X, Y, or Z thing. I just find that hilarious. And so a stupid joke like cracked pot is very, very pleasing to me. There we go. I'm gonna assume that that's all we need to do in here. I'm just gonna go fight the boss. We are gonna go rest. Okay. What was that? Living jars, I gotta hand it to you. It's really nice when you're just gonna sit there and not do anything. Thanks for being the best ads a guy could ask for. Sold jars of fortune ashes, yeah. Cool. Cool. This is enough. These runes are enough to go upgrade Latenna. So I think we're gonna go do that real quick.
Greedy, you here for spirit?
And then we can spend the rest on mimicked here. As many as we had. I don't hate the Night Maiden and Sorceress puppets, and I also don't hate the Finger Maiden Theralina puppet. They're both solid. So like she's really good support because she heals you a lot. To agile and relatively strong people. And then I've never tried the Bloodhound Knight, but I assume he'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think that's a maybe. So the possibly, not guaranteed, but possibly that duelist was impressed by the guts, no pun intended, that the soul jars demonstrated, and he was training them to be champion Colosseum combatants themselves. And that's why he wanted to have his pupils with him as he was defending that tomb. You know, every hero's grave is torture, in my opinion. I hate all of them. Is this the double Crucible Knights? Golden Epitaph. I think it's just a normal sword. I don't think it's a great sword. Yeah. It's a pretty sword, though. Yeah. Agreed. But, like, I understand why people don't like gimmick bosses. Because there's a degree of, man, it just feels cheap to do a fight like this. But I think having bosses that can be gimmicked is kind of fun, and so if there were some bosses that were weak to Deathblight, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, guys. Fine. If I want to get in close, I won't get close. So just lightning spear you and then actually spear you. So I don't hate this weapon. I've just gotten so used to the scythe that it feels weird. The damage is good, though. thought there was a way to get these two to run into each other or something. Hey, bud. Okay, this is just up here. Ha ha ha, let's not die. I agree. The biggest barrier for Rykard is just the damage that he deals. He hits hard enough that it's a difficult fight for that reason. That's kind of a boring reason for a fight to be difficult. The Serpent Hunter spear is definitely cooler than the Storm Razor, for sure. Scowy. All of these guys are crumbling. They're cracked. And it makes me wonder if you can break these guys too. I don't see any pots in the ceiling. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it would definitely increase the difficulty of the fight, but I kind of, as someone who upgraded his Serpent Hunter spear, I kind of like that it can be upgraded. Let's be clear, I'm not great at these games. I'm good. I'm good enough to complete them. But I'm not going to say no to an easy fight if I don't have to have a hard fight, right? I'm gonna use sleep pots on Godskin nobles. I'm gonna use fire on the severed giant hands and whatnot. Like I'm gonna use the weaknesses that are put in the game, and I'm gonna take advantage of them so that I don't have to get too good. Yes, Blasphemous Blade is very good. So we'd have to fall down to get over there. Let's go up this ladder first, and then we can come back down, hopefully. So what does it do us to get up here? We can't jump on the chariot here. Is this just the way back? Yeah, the requirements for Blasphemous Blade are not egregious. You can put like 20 levels into getting there from most class or most starting loadouts, and you're good. Or just use like the Source Seals or other trinkets, relics, whatever they're called, to upgrade your stats. I'm certain I can take a hit or two in the chariot. Yeah, I just don't want to, for one, and also would love if I could destroy it somehow. Of course, of course. Ow. The things you buy from Patches, the chain thing. I don't know if I have that. The shackle. We're definitely gonna get hit. We're definitely gonna get hit. Just making sure there isn't someone gonna jump me in the corner. Okay. Okay, let's see how well we do with just 5 flasks. one-shot the Crucible Knights or the Skeletons. It's possible that it does the Skeletons in. The sword that we got in the side room here said that the Sacred Order effect is what did the one-shot for the Skeletons, not just holy damage. Rip. I love the kick just started spinning so much. I love that so much. Please don't get me. Okay, we're good. Yeah, got him. Yeah, there are so many different buffs in this game. But there's the specific incantation that requires intelligence to use that does it, that stops those who live in death from reassembling. And then there's specific holy stuff that will do it as well. I rolled. $20,000 runes is 20,000 runes. Nice. That's what I was hoping for. To get the critical before he transforms. So then once he comes down, we can finish him off. That's fine. Ordovis, dog, thank you for just watching while I beat up your friend. I really appreciate it. Dropping frames at a crucial moment. The stream is dropping frames, not my game. It does this semi-consistently, so hopefully it's not an issue. If it hasn't fixed itself by the end of this fight, I will investigate. Yeah, that tailspin attack, not the first one, the second tailspin attack is what pisses me off the most, because it's so quick. Fudge. Nice. Okay. I don't know why it is still not playing nicely. I don't think anyone else is even home, so I don't know why the internet would be so. Maybe it could just be the heat. It could just be too dang hot. So let me roll quick. Hopefully this doesn't cut the stream by any stretch. It hasn't when I've done it in the past. Wait. Okay, we're back. We're back. We'll leave it. I'm ready to swap to my hotspot if needed, but... Okay. Darkroot Depths is a pain. Why? You... Apologies. YouTube is just having a fit. Okay, the range on horseback combat with this halberd is nice. It's better than the scythe for sure. The target area is a little weaker, but YouTube has suddenly decided that the bitrate it has recommended for the last 8 months of streaming is no longer what they recommend, and so it keeps whining at me in the corner of my eye and distressing me. So one of my fantasies is having enough money to afford hardware and internet access that would actually make things consistent and smooth. But I am poor, and increasingly due to the gluttony of AI data centers, owning good computer hardware is a fantasy for anyone who is not rich. That's the staff of the Avatar. That's what we've been looking for so long. Cool. That dealt fall damage, you say? Man, a joke. Okay. Some more giant ants here. I hate giant ants. I still haven't picked up the recipe for Golden Roa. Why can't I lock on to the ones that are close to me, huh? Fine, fine. Don't mind me, I'll just shoot them down. Sure. You try to shoot me back to that wall. Do it as many times as you want. It's over, Antikin. I have the high ground. Anyway. Don't mind me just wasting all of my fire arrows. Cool. This is one of the legendary armaments that you need to get for the achievement. Or legendary spells, whatever. I don't know that I would call it very good, but it is one of them. I did not think about that. I did not think before getting off my horse. Okay, you can summon. You can do spirit summon here. I hate these ants. So I'm just going to have Latenna take them out for me. This part isn't too bad. It could be worse, let's put it like that.
Oh, Lord Godwin. Such cruelty. Such humiliation. Oh, my poor, sweet lordling should have died a true death. As the first of the demigods to die. As a martyr to destined death. But why must it yet bring such disgrace? A scion of the Golden Bough, sentenced to live in death. How could such a thing come to be? Oh.
The fascinating thing about Godwin, Ranni killed him, or orchestrated the plot that killed him, using a stolen fragment of destined death, and killed his spirit, but not his body, which I think is a fascinating concept. So he is living in death. The whatever that actually means, all we see him is as an immobile corpse. But conceptually, it's interesting to have the death of a spirit or soul, but not the body. These guys, if you're not already doing the bird farm in heckin' Mogwin Palace, because bird farm is the best pre Elden Lord farm you can get. If you're not doing that because you think it's cheap or whatever, there are 3 of those statue guys on tree branches further up ahead. I'm pretty sure they each drop like 8,000 souls. Runes, whatever. And so it's a pretty. I did that for a couple of levels on the playthrough because it was the kind of grinding that I prefer, where it's not too mentally taxing. I don't have to aim my arrow every time to hit the bird and get stressed about optimization. I'm just playing the game essentially, but also killing the same guys over and over again. Anyway. It's a pretty time-efficient, cost-effective farm if you're not a fan of killing birds. Or this side of grace. You just go up and kill those 3 and then come back. It's not very terribly efficient, but it's good enough. $4,000, yeah. So not terribly efficient, but it's better than many other farms you can do. Hate climbing on uneven surfaces in Souls games. Hate climbing on uneven surfaces in Souls games. I want to get this site of grace. There's still a few more places to explore, but this is the boss area. That, depending on how troubled this stream gets in terms of that boss fight, might be the last thing we do. Okay. This boss fight, and then maybe we'll go back and try to fight Electo again. We already went up here. Yeah. Deathblight on a sword. Ow. Okay. Definitely not a torrent fight. I don't know why this guy in particular has killed me so many times. compared to every other Crucible Knight with the exact same moveset and weapon. But I have died to this particular Crucible Knight many times, more than other Crucible Knights of the same ilk. That's not the button I wanted to press. Yeah. Big family outfit. It's just too heavy to wear most of the time. Most of the time. I always forget what item is there, and I think every single time I've gotten that Summer or that Smithing Stone 6, I've been like, oh, well, that was a waste. Oh, you nasty little scarab. So, mausoleum here. I don't really care. We can duplicate remembrances. And mostly, the only things I would want are the extra runes for it, which is why I haven't used any of them. You can duplicate late game boss remembrances to get more runes. There are a couple. Oh no. Oh no. I should have dashed. Anyway, there are a couple that I wouldn't hate getting both of. Millennia's Waterfall Dance, as well as the Scarlet Aeonia incantation. I don't remember, actually, whether you can use base game mausoleums to copy DLC remembrances. I suspect you can't, but that's the other reason I'm holding out, is because there are a bunch of DLC upgrades, weapons, whatever that I'm interested in. But I'd rather have both of those than... Because I've messed around with most of the weapons in the base game. remembrance weapons in the base game. And none of them really speak to me. The full moon sorceries are fun, but they're so slow and they don't even deal that much damage that it's not worth it. There are a lot of very flashy, cool-looking incantations and sorceries in this game, but very few of them are actually any good. Like the Rain of Stars incantation you get from Bluehead sorcerer that Selen sends you after it deals like 7 damage per hit. And so it's a cool effect, but it's so weak. This is completely tangential, having merchants possess items that tell you information about the game is such a great way to teach you about the game compared to just not telling you ever, like in Dark Souls 1. Was that a scarab that just vanished? Based on the amount of runes we're getting and the damage that is being dealt here, I think this place might have been easier to do than Scarlet Rot Lake. So maybe we should have gone here first. There's a rune bear in one of these caves. Yeah. Oh, that disappeared really fast. I'm a fan of daggers. There are a couple of little rooms in here, I think, that I didn't explore. And then we'll go fight the boss. It's more just checking to be sure. Oh boy, an Arteria leaf. I thought there was a room full of basilisks, in addition to the one statue guy. But could be wrong. And that's fine. Cool. And that is 60 vigor, just in time for going to the Mountaintops of the Giants. I think next, I'm either going to put more points in strength or start upgrading endurance and mind. The Staff of the Avatar does need more strength. So maybe, I think we'll probably get those 4 points so we can start using this too. There is a little bit further that I need to go about. There's over there that we need to go do, but we can get there from here fairly easily. Fine. You're close enough that I can smack you, that's fine. Ooh, you have glowing eyes. I think there's just another bear down the hole here, but... No! Thank you. Thanks, Torrent, for having the ability to double jump. That one odd log just hanging out there. It's not just a bear, but there is a bear down the hole. I suspect I'm probably going to die if I fight this bear in this hole. We're not going to be baited, we're just going to keep attacking. Okay, worth it to kill the bear, I guess. Okay. I could go spend these runes, but I think winning this boss fight will get me close to enough to level up again. Good to get one of them out of the way real fast. I wonder what qualifies someone to be a Fias champion. Is it like someone who has done this fight recently? Someone who has beaten what's its name? Fortisax? And claimed the Mending Rune of Destined Death, or whatever it's called. Because the Great Jar Warrior does a similar thing. That it copies players, I think, of a similar rune level. But I'm pretty sure this just copies random players who are in the area or something, and mimic tiers them essentially. Sick hat, man. That's so much stagger. There's so much stagger. Oh my goodness. This wasn't the boss fight that I was referring to that I thought was going to take a while, but hey, we might be here for the rest of this hour. I think I am going to swap back to the scythe for this. I don't think they can heal, but just the faster attacks might be good. Oh. I could summon here, and if it comes down to it, we can do that, but... Oh yeah, Commodore, nice, nice. Not going well for me. Shouldn't have run away so much. We'll try one more time without summoning, and then we'll give it a shot. No. See, I know that the Rivers of Blood katana is something you get in the Mountaintops of the Giants, if I recall correctly. So, interesting that this champion would have it. Okay. Back up so we don't get rapiered to death. Dramatic finish. And there is Our Lady. Hello, Fia.
Ah, there you are. I knew you would come. What is it you intend? To deny us and our ways, like the dogmatic brutes of the Golden Order?
No,
You are
I
an
want
odd
to be
one.
held.
I am the guardian of those who live in death. They call me a foul and rotten witch. Yet you still wish to be held by me? Have you ever seen a Hallowbrand? When the first of the demigods died, his flesh was marked with the half-wheel wound of the centipede. Godwyn's Hallowbrand has since been recovered at the Round Table Hold, but there is another Hallowbrand out there somewhere, and I must find it before the time comes we receive our Lord. When Godwyn died, but another exists, and I must find before the my hands. Will you still let me hold you, even then? This is the other Hallowbrand. How did you? Oh, my utmost thanks. With this, Godwin can take his rightful place as first of the dead and claim a second, illustrious life. You are our true champion. And though I can't be of any use to you, can I hold you tight? If only for a moment. I will soon lay with Godwin, and it will surely stir within me the new life of the Golden Prince, and first dead of the demigods, as the rune of those who live in death. Please, do one thing for me. Brandish this child, my rune, and take for yourself the throne. Stay the persecution of those who live in death by becoming our Elden Lord. I will conceive, brandish my stay the by becoming.
The centipede is a symbol of immortality, but a corrupt and fallen immortality in Japanese mythos, which is heavily demonstrated in Sekiro. But that is why those who live in death have the centipede as their sign, because it is incomplete immortality. I don't know, we might have to rest again.
This is but I am
there we go.
satisfied. I choose to lie with Godwin of my own will. Not the remains of one chosen for me, and I will bear a child who will inherit your warmth too. What greater blessing could there be but to be born a deathbed companion? This is good, but I choose to, and I will who will inherit. What greater?
We will go through that portal eventually. I'm pretty sure it just pops us out above ground in Leyndell somewhere, but this is the boss that I suspect is going to take the rest of the stream. Because it's much easier, in my opinion, to fight dragons while mounted. And you can't mount in this fight. Plus, he's got Deathblade lightning all over the place. It's also just hard to hit his head, which is the point of greatest damage for dragons. And there's the constant red lightning. You just can't do much about. Ow. was close. Come on. Okay. Woohoo! Woohoo! Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And she's dead. But now that's another ending we have unlocked.
Prince of Death, take a good long look. See the wrath of the Golden Order, the Order's justice writ in blood. This is what's become of your precious witch. Naught but expired meat and bone. This is a proper death, oh prince. Look at this rotten whore.
Ooh,
No more children
really
can be
not
got from
endearing
this
yourself to
useless
anyone.
Flesh. Behold, your mother is dead.
Kind of regret giving him his armor.
This is revenge, you witch, and you ghoul. This is the wrath of D.
He's nuts, though.
Hello. The rotten witch is dead. The Golden Order unsullied. Now I can look my brother Darian in the eye. Honeyed rays of gold, deliver my spirit. Darian, now I have no regrets. Honeyed rays of gold, deliver my spirit. Darian, honeyed...
Sounds about it. I thought she died just from the result of laying with Godwin, but maybe she was still alive and just comatose. She talked like she was gonna die, though, so I assume that was eventually what was gonna happen. Okay, this is just back here. Cool. That's pretty much everything that I had in mind for this stream. We can go try to fight the dragon again. The other dragon that disappeared at the beginning and wiped the floor with us when we tried to fight it earlier. We'll give it a shot. I mean, our vigor is nearly doubled since then. Our damage is definitely up. way too far for that to hit. And you just, obviously you're using lightning, so why would you be weak to lightning? Again, the Dark Souls brain of lightning being what killed the dragons. Cool. Lanceaxe Great Blade, that's neat. Okay. So let's go up here. Blackguard Boggart is somewhere in or around the water. We might have already passed his quest line. To be frank, his quest line's pretty tragic, disturbing, take your pick. So not a terrible thing to have missed. It's also possible that we can't continue his quest line until after we release the Loathsome Dungeater from jail. Which subterranean shunning ground is kind of the worst. I don't know if I would want to go there with what little time we have left, but I also don't know what else we could do. We could go clear the path to Mountaintops.
Looking at? Oh, you again, is it? Perfect bloody timing, actually. I got crab, cooked up fresh. Mate, there's something I should probably tell you. You heard of the Dungeater? He's a madman. Has it out for everyone. Curses them. Goes round in his rank armor and all. You see him, though. Stay, well, away. I was in the same jail as him once, so I know firsthand. He's a god-forsaken monster. Not just some petty thug like me. He's a killer. Kills people. And curses the souls. Does all sort of shit to the corpses. To keep them cursed forever. I ain't seen nothing more disgusting in all my years. I ain't ever been more scared neither. Rooted to the bloody spot while he did that to my friend. Never met someone with a taste for crab I couldn't trust. You've got a real thing here, eh? And it's only getting better. Marika's tits. You must be hungry.
Okay, we've talked to him. I don't want to go to a site of grace and come all the way back. So we're just gonna... You can reload the area either by sitting at a site of grace or doing this.
All right, mate. worker's tip.
Okay. We might need to let Dungater out. I haven't done this questline since the game released, so my memory of it is a little hazy. Okay. Anything else to do? Deep Root Depths, we did Radon's Divine Tower, we did the Lake of Rot, we did Ronnie's Plateau, and I think we've done everything in the outskirts that we were going to do. So I guess let's go get to the mountaintops. A lot of dogs around corners here. As always, being 1 point of strength off of one-shotting them is disgusting. Oh yeah, that dog never aggroes. As long as you don't hit it, it will never get up and attack you. Zuli the Witch did the video. They didn't have the flag of proximity triggered to, or set to trigger for this guy. If you attack it, it will aggro, yes, but no amount of walking next to it will cause it to attack you. So the reason these guys are all praying here, presumably, frick. One of the main lore points in the game is the injustice of the Golden Order, the bias of the Erd Tree, where particular classes of people are favored over others, and those who are not found worthy in the eyes of the Golden Order are shunned or exploited or apartheided, if not genocided. The misbegotten, the crucible-born humanoids that are the people with tails and the weird faces, they say weird faces, it's a little mean. The people we're fighting here, as well as the Albinarics and a couple other people, heard that Mikola, the demigod of abundance, was going to create his own tree, his own Erd Tree, that would offer an alternative to Golden Order extremism. And so these people don't have the means to get to the Halig Tree is what it's called. And so they are praying at the foot of the elevator for the Halig Tree to reach them, essentially. Whether it would work or not is unclear, because Moog abducted Mikola before the Halig Tree could completely grow. We learn in the DLC that Mikola is far from a noble and virtuous person. So whether the tree itself would have been a good thing in the end or not is a little ambiguous. But bottom line, they are looking for salvation outside of the Golden Order, because as the dregs of the crucible that birthed all life, or most life, a little uncertain, they are not accepted under the Golden Order. There's one other NPC we can check in on after we activate the lift. I think we have both hidden medallion fragments too, so we can do both the Mountaintops and the consecrated snowfield. I think this item looks really dramatic, but it's just like a piece of grease or something. Or like dried liver. Flame jerked Allison. Okay, so functionally dried liver. Nice. absolutely bodied. I think we enter a dark realm here and have to fight a Godskin noble. I could be wrong. Might be later or at a different spot. I probably should just rest. There's some item. Hidden around here. Might be up on the top of the lift. Or we can roll off, I don't remember. I remember thinking it was stupid for sure. What's with all these messages? Oh, okay, they're not gods and nobles, they're just two omens. You didn't stagger with that hit. That's bad. For me. Thematically, the concept of blood flame is very interesting. Fire that somehow makes you bleed. Practically, it's a pain. Oh, I think this leads to Morgott and Mohg's Divine Tower. Because Morgott and Mohg are twins who are omens, and so having two fell twins. Guarding this place. Would make sense. Excuse me. So you can see this one's off center. Mogs shows up here when you beat him for real, for real. Now we can use the big spunking stick. Cool. Cool. Let's go check in on Gowry. Because he's the... We don't have any runes, we can sell stuff, but he sells us a couple of incantations, and he has commentary on Millicent at most steps along her journey. Golden Rune 9, yeah, these guys, you can farm Golden Rune 9s off of them, which is not efficient, but the Golden Rune 9s I think are like 3,500 or so. A significant deposit of runes. And as you can see, they drop them not infrequently. Did we go over there? I think we did, yeah. Because that corpse had something on it. Cool. Oh, that's lethal? You're kidding me. Whatever. the dragonfly heads are used for making poison alleviating boluses, and so it's good to pick those up when you can.
Please make certain that little Millicent goes unharmed. Like her mother, she has the stuff to be a great warrior, but commands only one arm and is yet preciously young. So, you gave Millicent a golden arm replacement. This is a wonderful development. Thank you for your kindness. Now, Millicent may fully realize her true warrior's potential, like her beautiful mother. The girl, Millicent, she is a bird, green and undeveloped, waiting to flower into magnificence. What a wondrous day that will be. In truth, before her, I'd never seen a bud of such superior quality. She might very well outshine her sisters.
Yeah, 3,800 runes.
Do you have an interest in rot incantations? Then you might like to learn something of the history of Melania, goddess of scarlet rot. Queen Marika and her king consort Radagon were blessed with twin demigods, and Melania was one of them. She was born an Empyrean carrying the scarlet rot. An Empyrean is no mere demigod. In the age of the Elden Ring and Queen Marika, the precious Empyrean was born, a new god to forge a new order. Since Melania fought Radahn, and the great scarlet flower blossomed in Aeonia, I have dedicated myself to her, and to the resplendence of the Order of Rot, the cycle of decay and rebirth.
Cool.
Do you...
We try reloading once, but I'm pretty sure that's all we get for him right now. Until we bring Millicent's story to a close.
Well...
Yeah, cool. Cool. I think that wraps up what we're going to do today. We got all the stuff we've been putting off done, mostly. We could go do the subterranean shunning grounds. I don't think I'm going to do that until after we let Melina burn the Erd Tree. I don't want her to get pissed at us. So we'll pick up next week en route to the Forbidden Lands. And we can get the steeple. It's another faith strength greatsword, I believe. And that could also be a weapon that we use. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you for watching, as always. Tomorrow we'll be starting Transistor, and I'll have stuff to say about my experience with the the Dustbloods playtest. Then Monday, There is experimental branch for Deep Rock at this point. I don't know if I'm gonna play that or not. We'll see. There are a couple other games that I might try. I haven't decided, bottom line. But we'll get to that point. So yeah, if you enjoyed, feel free to like the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, etc. Always like to see numbers go up, and would love to see you again. Until then, though, have a good weekend. Fingers crossed things go well for you. And as always, bye.